Hello, I'm Aaron Maidendorp, and this is my presentation for my Capstone project. I decided to go um, for the idea of beliefs and cultures, and for that, I wanted to do how we can see the evolution of what people believe in and their culture through their architecture, so we can see what like the society values as a whole. And for an example of that, I chose cathedrals because they look cool and they're very important culturally and religiously. So I, I'm kind of going through the evolution of the belief of Christianity in the West, starting with pagan temples that were converted to the very first cathedrals when the religion was first legalized. As you can see, I have the Acropolis in Athens, which was actually converted to one of the first cathedrals soon after Christianity was legalized. But then over time, the religion decided that it needed its own like architectural style and its own buildings, and these were designed primarily like the architecture of the Roman Empire. So as you can see on the other side, there's some of the first Romanesque cathedrals, and these cathedrals were built very similar to other large public Roman works like the Colosseum, where they have thick walls and curved arches. It really helped to show the strength and like the solidity of the church spiritually. Um, so it can help show the evolution of their beliefs, as in they believe that the thick walls will show the everlastingness of the church. For my next evolution, is the evolution into Gothic cathedrals. These cathedrals used pointed arches and flying buttresses, new styles of building, in order to have thinner walls which allowed for windows. This coincided with a new spiritual belief that light was one of the best symbols of God's kingdom on earth, so they made the windows as large as possible to let as much light in to show the people what they believed heaven on earth would be more like. These new architectural elements also allowed the cathedrals to go higher, which began a race for the sky, one could say, as cathedrals got taller and taller, in order to show a spiritual longing for heaven, one, but also culturally it showed the rivalries between major cities and major economic centers as they attempted to one up each other to build taller and taller, which interestingly allowed for the first buildings that were taller than the Great Pyramids of Giza. The next architectural style after Gothic is Baroque. This style is interesting because we don't think of it quite as much as we probably should. It was very influential, and its main reason for the spiritual change from Gothic to Baroque was the Reformation, the Protestant Reformation and the Catholic Counter Reformation. Um, Part of the Counter Reformation was the idea that the Catholic Church should embrace the luxuries that the Protestants were denying. So they used as much detail and gold and as much work as possible to show how much that they believed in and cared for their religion, and how much effort they wanted to show that they were putting into their faith. Um, this architectural style was also culturally similar to the Rococo movement, um, which was popular around the time, that had an extreme amount of detail, and so the two coincided very well together. Finally, I wanted to focus on the neoclassical movement. Here we can see St. Paul's Cathedral in London, which is probably one of the better examples of the neoclassical movement. This movement emphasized mainly ancient styles such as columns and domes, and very advanced symmetry. Spiritually, for the church, it showed their continuity with their ancient past, and almost goes full circle back to the pagan temples of the past, uh, in order to spiritually show how connected the church is with its roots. In a more cultural sense, it was also around the same time as the Enlightenment, which was attempting to bring rationality into everything and anything. And it kind of is a culmination of the end of more medieval superstitions and spirituality, and the more modern rationality of like the modern church would have. Um, yeah, so my argument is that by observing the changes in architectural styles, we can observe the changes in these communities and these peoples, what they believe in and what they value, and not even just their religious values, but their cultural values as well, as we can ascertain the differences in the time periods and the people that made these buildings. This is useful for other reasons, such as with other countries, if you want to notice what they believe in and what they value, their large main structures can go a long distance of showing what they believe in and what they value. So, yeah.